And so one of my first questions when I found out that I was going to sit with you was, that I was thinking about was, what are your feelings about raising kids in a digital world, and what, if anything, do you do about keeping them out of the spotlight? Because even if we weren't in a digital world, you guys would be in the spotlight. Yeah. So here, like, this exacerbates it a little bit. So,
well, I don't think that there is. I think there are plenty of people who aren't on TV that live more public lives than we do, because just how much they invest in social media
and expose themselves.
Yeah, and so we are in the public eye, and yes, we do post pictures and share aspects of our lives, but it's the aspects of our lives that we've chosen to share. And so because of that, I don't think that we necessarily see it as oversharing or crossing some line into giving the keys of our life to the public. We share pictures of the boys when they're doing something funny, or a picture of Ivy that pulls at our heart, and then our friends online will comment on it. And it's a nice little community to be part of. So it's not an overly public thing. That being so, that's one aspect of.
But luckily, also, we don't live in the States.
Yeah.
And where there is like this mega star system, and where
a sophisticated paparazzi.
And there's like
network.
paparazzi who camp outside. I mean, that doesn't really apply in Canada. Interestingly enough, with the new law that was just passed to protect these children
in California,
where these children, they have now passed a law where the paparazzi can only be how far away? I think?
So it's a greater distance than it used to be, with higher fines and higher jail time.
Which is really interesting, because these kids were stalked and people camped out outside their homes. These poor kids never asked to be a part of this life, and so finally they are being protected a little bit. And that was just a little piece of information that we.
That's good. That's it.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I think that for us, what's really nice is that we enjoy chronicling our lives a bit. I mean, we obviously choose what to put out there and what not to, what to keep private. I don't feel like we put too much out there, but I do feel like we are parents who really love our kids and enjoy watching them grow up and enjoy the moments that we have with them, and we do like to share those. And we get a lot of positive feedback. We get a lot of women that will say, "Oh, thanks for sharing," or fathers that tell Ben, "Thanks for giving us your opinion on this or that." And it certainly is something that I really loved reading about when I was having the twins, and I didn't know very much about being a mother. Real stories, not just random advice here and there, but real stories, and hearing like the good, the bad, the ugly for me was always very interesting. And I find in particular also in that parent world that is very accepted to kind of share stories and pictures and stuff. Different for other worlds, but it's appreciated in our universe of within the parent blogger.
Well, that being said, there's all that, and then there's the other aspect of the digital world, which is a whole other thing that we're not yet into, which is Facebook, cell phones, and credit cards, and whatever comes after. Our kids are 3. I don't know what's going to happen when they're 13. I don't know what the world's going to look like when they're 13, but if it looks anything like today, it's frightening, because there's a whole level of responsibility there that I didn't have, that you didn't have, that our parents didn't have. There's no rule book for what you're supposed to let your kids do and when. And I am very curious to follow those trends in parenting between now and when we have to deal with it, because it can make the wrong move, and it could be a really bad decision. Right. It could be that haunts you. And so that's the other side of it. That is.
You've got a while, yes.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I guess it just like parents it's just like this evolution, right? I mean, our parents are looking at the things that we have, all the tools that we have, and they're saying, "You're so lucky." Like this stroller that we saw today, where with like one push of a button, it folds, and then
origami
all for you, which is like amazing. But then there's a whole other set of rules that they never had to deal with, which is like, Facebook and Twitter.
That's right. I wouldn't say it's an evolution, because it's a completely new thing.
It's just a new thing. It's like a whole new thing. So we have things and tools that are easier than what our parents had, but also other things that we have to deal with that are much more
challenges and responsibilities that go along with that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Jessica, do you find it hard to find balance between work and family?
Yes and no. I find that, of course, like, parents' guilt is like a never-ending thing, no matter what you do, whether it's you're working all the time and you feel like you're not spending enough time with kids, you're spending too much time with kids, you're putting on the wrong color on your kids, you're doing this. There's always like that aspect that like never ends, the guilt. Although I do find that I found some kind of balance. I do know, now that I've had the 3, and I've had now that I had the twins, now I have my third, I feel like I have a bit of knowledge as to what kind of mother I am and like what I need to do to be a great mother, a little bit. Still not, it's not perfected in any way, of course. But for me, I believe that being a working mother makes me a better mother. I think that I've realized that it's not the quantity of time that you spend with your children, it's the quality of time that you spend with your children. I think that if I feel inspired and interested and I feel like I'm doing a good job at work and I'm doing things I love and meeting interesting people during the day, then I come home and I'm a better mother. And that if we set some rules, like, you know, we put the phone away when we get home, or we turn off the TV for a minute when we get home, and we sit and eat together when we get home. I think when you can kind of do those things, I think our quality of life as a family is definitely nice and quite good. And I really enjoy the way that we've kind of balanced it that way. It may not work for everybody, works for us. That's how I try to balance it. That's how I know I can balance my life, by enjoying different, you know, work life and home life.
And what about time for you life?
Well, lately it's a little bit rare, but
I had to ask, right?
It's
you know,
It's
time
a
for
common
me life.
struggle.
You know, it's really interesting. I just think it's a matter of shifting things. You know, like when Ben and I were together and it was just us, you know, we were always really busy in a different way, and now we're just busy in a whole different way. We just have to adjust. You know, we just don't go to every event anymore. We don't. We say no a lot to people when they ask us to go.
It's a good skill to develop.
So maybe our actually personal friendships have suffered, but other than that,
most of our friends have kids anyway, so
yeah, they kind of get it, and you just it's just a shift.
I was gonna say the good friends get it.
Yeah, they totally get it,
Usually stick
and
around.
yeah, but personal time, it's overrated.
Okay, so I was gonna ask Ben, as a fellow law graduate who also chose not to pursue my career in law, I graduated, no bar for me, nothing else beyond that. I am so curious to know what made you decide not to follow the traditional legal path.
What made me not, a job in television popped up out of nowhere is what happened.
Ta-da!
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was finishing my 3rd year of law when the Progressive Conservative National Policy Convention was happening in Quebec City, where I was studying, and my dad said, "Look, I can't make it, but it'd be really great if you could go and be a shot in the arm for the party. Can you attend?" And I said, "All right, fine, I'll go." And I went, and that's where I was interviewed by CBC and CTV and Radio Canada and all of them. And somebody in Toronto saw these interviews and viewed that as some sort of audition for me and thought that this would be someone great to bring on board for this new digital cable channel that we're starting. And so I got a call from them saying, "Would you like to come to Toronto and be part of our team?" To which I said, "Well, I have to finish my bar, which is a year in Quebec." So I said, "If you can hold off and offer me this job in a year's time, great." They said, "Well, how about you come on board over the next 12 months as a correspondent for us, and you can be our correspondent from Quebec City?" And I said, "Sure, okay." So I put my law degree to work, and I negotiated my own contract, which was a very good contract. And I did that for a year, and sure enough, the job was waiting for me when I was done with law school. I moved, and that gave way from that tiny little channel, gave way to E-Talk, which gave way to Canadian Idol, which was 6 years of work, and then E-Talk became a daily show, and all the red carpets and all the other stuff, and the radio show, and writing for a newspaper, all this stuff came from that, and there was never a reason to reconsider my choice. I never sought out a career in the spotlight, and I never dreamt of it. It just is, and I don't crave the spotlight. I do the job because I very much like speaking with people and finding out what their stories are. And so again, it paid the bills, and it put me in a place where I could live a life that made me happy and proud. No reason to look back.
And you're loving what you do.
Yes, it is.
I get it. I'm just curious. I was like, when I saw that, I didn't actually know that about you. And when I saw that, I was like, that's crazy. So like another one that
And
didn't
actually,
follow
when we
through.
read about you, Ben said, "Oh, look, lawyer,
Yeah.
not a lawyer
Yeah.
anymore. Interesting."
But you did your bar. I didn't even
Yeah.
go there.
Well,
I called
yeah.
my husband, my then boyfriend, now husband. I was in Fredericton. He was in Ottawa for my second to last year, and I said, I'm going to finish what I started, but I am not going to be a lawyer.
I finished. I took my
Yeah.
bar courses, but I was never technically called to the bar. I was already enrolled. I said I'll just do it.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of mandatory sort of attendance courses
Mm-hmm.
that I was busy doing other stuff
That's
for.
okay.
It was my dad's birthday. I was like, go to Florida or attend a mandatory course for that's something I really don't need to be. So.
Enjoying life and
Yeah.
living it to its fullest.
Mhm.
And no doubt it helps you with negotiating and stuff also.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you already, and I find the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I have another few minutes.
You have like 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, great. What do you guys consider to be your perfect date night?
Perfect date night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my, so simple. For Ben and I, it's really simple. We like to, first of all, we try to schedule them as much as we can. But you know, even the first about date night though, in general, if Ben is tired or I'm tired, we do try to always find the time to just kind of get each other going and make sure we get out, even if it's just for an hour and we go somewhere really close by, sit at the bar and have a glass of wine and chat and put our phones away. That's really important. But it really is simple.
What is
we
it?
don't need
I want to
much.
know what it is.
Sushi.
Oh, blowfish.
He's
Yeah.
planning the anniversary
Yeah.
dinner.
No, blow.
What's
Yeah.
with the Queen
I know.
Elizabeth thing?
Huh?
Was that a joke?
The
Or was
Queen-
this year's coronation picture you tweeted?
That was a joke.
It was a joke.
Of course it
For
was.
my gift?
Yeah.
I know, wasn't that?
I looked at it, I was like,
Of course it was a
He's
joke.
got
There's
joking,
been
right?
a lot of joking about our anniversary. The other day, I asked him what we were going to do for our anniversary, and Ben said sleep. So I said, "Oh, you
Do you doubt that we're going to sleep? We will sleep. That's not the point though.
So
yes,
the perfect date
you
night.
know what?
Sorry, I just jumped on
Our
it.
favorite restaurant in Toronto is Blowfish. It's a great.
One of our favorites. We have lots of favorites.
Yes, and it's a great sushi restaurant with a lot of other stuff, and we just love going there and making sure if the kids get down to sleep with no problems, we can just make a quick exit from the house, get in the car, go down there, enjoy some drinks, enjoy some food, and then come home in a perfectly happy mood where we can get into bed, watch a little TV,
And pass out.
and then not wake up
So
until we
easy.
wake up.
Yes.
So simple.
Just
We
to
don't need
have
to
fun
get dressed
together.
up.
Yeah.
We don't need any of that.
No.
We just want to get out.
Get it? I
That's
so
all.
get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you love most, miss the most, and not miss about being in Montreal?
Oh, so much.
Okay, so what do we love the most about Montreal?
So, well, I think what the one thing that's hardest for me is raising children in a city that I grew up in and that I know so well. So just having that support system, like first of all our parents or Ben's parents who do come and visit as often as they can, but they're not in the same city. And it's just even, having to learn about all the schools in Toronto and not having like that connection with the city that you already just, you know it, you know what the schools are like, you know what all that, you know where the parks are.
Yes.
All those things that you just have to discover on your own with children is always kind of different.
Yes.
So that sometimes saddens me when I bring the kids here and I bring them to like parks that I remember going to as a young girl, and I always kind of wish, I wish that park was supposed to be in Toronto. It would be so much fun.
Because we want to live, we want our
Yeah.
kids to live what we live, the
Exactly.
good stuff, right?
And what do you not miss?
Yeah,
What do I
not
not miss? I feel like that question would get me in some trouble. But
No.
I don't know. I don't know. I actually, there's nothing.
Potholes? The ridiculous length of the winter?
So clearly Ben has
all
the
good
list.
answers.
Yeah.
I mean, our winter is
As
not
bad as
that
our
much
mayor
fun.
is, it's not as bad as here. That is a lot, honey, to not miss.
Okay, but I love Montreal, so I don't know what you want me to say. I
Okay,
miss
fine,
it.
not that. I'll
I
miss
love
that.
He answered that part of the
Yeah,
question.
I love Toronto. I think it's a great city. There's a lot of opportunity there, especially with work, and I enjoy it. And I've been able to do certain things that I probably wouldn't have been able to do in Montreal in terms of a career, for sure. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I love the city. I think I feel very connected to it. I always will. So,
What do I miss?
oh God.
Toastés and steamés. And I mean that desperately. What else do I miss? No, so that's what I miss. What were the three things?
What do you miss? What do you not miss? And what do you love most?
What do I not miss? I listed those. And what do I
love most?
What do I love most about Montreal? This is always my home. This is always my home. This is where my parents are. This when I think back is to my earliest memories. They are here, and this is where I met Jess. This is
where we got married.
This is where we got
We got
married.
married
This is
in
where
this
we got
hotel.
engaged.
In this hotel?
In this hotel.
No,
almost
we
5
had
years
our
ago.
reception here. We got married at the.
Okay, fine. Our big wedding and where we stayed the night of our wedding, the whole like a lot of our wedding part was in this hotel,
So
and
nice.
our anniversary is next week.
Mhm.
5
The
years.
anniversary, I saw that.
So it's kind of
actually. I did some research.
It's kind of kismet that we ended up here almost 5 years ago.
Mhm.
Married here.
Nice. Okay, since just we're on the topic of Montreal, hockey allegiances, please.
Oh, of course.
Oh, Montreal Canadiens.
Okay, good. That's what I need to know.
Without
Yeah.
even blinking an eye,
Okay,
that is like
good.
and that
It's not even.
is
I
passed
mean,
on
I
to our
told-
I was gonna say
I've
the
told
kids.
I've told Maple Leafs to their face that I hate their team. I told Ty Domi to his face I hate his team.
And our children are already like the first thing that happened when the boys were born. We got about 8 or 10 gifts of just Montreal Canadian jerseys, pajamas, hats, this, that, the other.
Onesies. No.
One
They have
every-
full,
Yeah.
they're fully outfitted in
Love it.
in the Habs.
Love it.
So
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
We're set.
Okay, so this is not to do with Montreal. It's to do with something, Jessica, I don't even know if you're still involved in it, the Shoebox Project.
Involved in it.
So can you
Oh,
tell me
my
a
God.
little bit about that? Because I actually think that my readers would love to hear about that, and I would maybe actually like to post a separate post
Oh,
about
we
that
love
to
that,
get people
please.
to bring
So it's
stuff.
gonna be the last question, okay?
Okay.
So yeah, Shoebox Project, amazing. So my mother did it here for a few years with a friend of hers, Dana Vellen, and it was very small, very grassroots. About all just like they reached out to about 40 of their friends and would get shoe boxes. It was very sweet. And then I brought it to Toronto. I had my sisters-in-law join me, and of course, Ben's sister Caroline does nothing small. She is so brilliant, and just we brought it to a completely different level. We're now in 28 cities, I think, across Canada, and we anybody can join in. They go to our website, shoeboxproject.com, and they can start up a shoebox project of their own in any city that they're in, and it's become
It's
a
huge.
very popular thing. We are now in preparation for
This holiday
this
season.
holiday season,
Mhm.
which gets very, very busy. We're always looking for sponsorships, and what we do in a nutshell, what we do is we have women fill shoeboxes with small luxuries, things that women in shelters would really appreciate and things that they would never be able to really afford. And we found that there was so many fantastic initiatives for children during the holiday season, but there was not very much for women in shelters. And so it's just a little something from a woman in their community saying like, we're thinking of you this holiday season. So we fill it up with, we have little guidelines on the website, about $50 worth of, products, whether it's, cream or makeup or lipstick, mascara.
You
We
give
like
them
we
gloves,
love
you
little
give
gloves, a
cards.
scarf, gift cards to Tim Hortons, which we love, or gift cards to McDonald's that we love. Something like that, and it's just something that's very special, and we've received so much positive feedback. Women really enjoy doing it because it's a very hands-on project, and they enjoy also
I do it with the
letting
kids
their
even.
kids
The
do it.
outpouring,
Yeah,
the
so it's
outpouring
really
was,
great.
I've never seen anything like it. It grew exponentially.
I brought you a shoebox.
Oh
I am
my god!
hoping to help many women fill many more.
Oh my gosh!
Okay.
Please.
In a brown box too.
Okay. With a Browns bag, but there's some little things for you guys in the Browns bag. So this is for you,
Oh.
if you want it. You may not be a
I want
baseball fan. And then here, one for
I love
you,
it.
and one
Thank
for you
you.
to give him a list.
Awesome.
and are you coffee? Well, I know you're a coffee drinker.
Oh god, am I ever?
But if I give you too much swag, will it be too much to bring home? It's here, goes your bag.
Oh my
you.
god!
I actually didn't want it to break, and I bought you, and it is my very last one. I've got to print some more, and it was not from my kitchen. It's actually from my office.
Oh,
My
wow.
last one. It was not used. That is
Oh, I
until
love
that.
that.
Okay, and if you'd rather give it into one of the boxes, I didn't want to put this stuff in the
I
box
always
because I
love
kind of
that.
like the idea of giving anonymously, like
Yeah.
not the recipient not always knowing who it's
Knowing
from.
who it's from, yeah.
So that's why I didn't put any Montreal Mom
But I
stuff
love that.
inside.
I'll use this.
So
Because you know
So,
what? I'm a Montreal.
you are?
Montreal.
yes, you
I-
are. And well, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
And it was really fun to chat with you.
Thanks a lot.
And good luck with the Shoebox Project. And
Thank
I will
you.
do some
Oh, yeah,
sort of
please
post or
contact me
whatever.
anytime.
I will, and we'll
Caroline
make
and I
sure.
will do.
Okay,
anything
amazing.
you
I
need.
followed on Twitter, and she already
Oh.
got back to me with, like,
That's
you
my
know-
sister.
so well,
Caroline,
it might have been
like,
anonymous. I'm not
No,
sure.
no,
It might have been. It
nothing's
came
on
from
it.
Caroline.
And it's from her. And
So-
it was typed by her.
It was
So,
said by
yeah,
her.
okay.
She's amazing. I don't know how she does it, but she follows up with everybody.
She has a clone.
She works hard.
That's
Yeah,
that's a
exactly.
business.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you
Well,
so
thank
much.
you both so much.
So nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.